Yeah.
And I think that this is the top two, just straight up.
Absolutely.
Do you want to go first or me in terms of who you have it to?
I think we have the same. I think we'd have the same. But let's get. I had Jokic at 2.
I also have Jokic at 2, and I have KD at 1. And I just want to read for you the BetMGM, shout out BetMGM, partner of the Athletic Sportsbook. I want to read for you the MVP futures right now because they do not make sense to me. Luka Doncic is the favorite at 3-1. Jason Tatum 7-2. Nikola Jokic 4-1. Giannis Antetokounmpo 4-1. Kevin Durant is 9-1 to win MVP. Kevin Durant is 9-1.
He's been the best basketball player this year. Jason, no one's played better basketball than Kevin Durant this year.
When I looked last week and talked about this, Kevin Durant was 25-1 to win MVP. It's crazy. Let's talk about Jokic first, because I want to put this into context for people. I did this on the last podcast, but I actually pulled more numbers now to make people understand this. I think that there's going to be a lot of pushback to Nikola Jokic winning MVP for a third straight time. I do. And frankly, like, I am someone that I tend to care about the legacy of what these things will look like 15 years down the road than what I think most people do, or maybe should, to be honest, if we're trying to do this on a year-to-year basis. But I care about the fact that, like, it might look kind of silly if Nikola Jokic wins 3 straight MVPs 15 years down the road. Here's what I think is kind of important to say. Nikola Jokic is one of the top 15 players in NBA history. Straight up. Maybe top 20 so far. I would like to see him win a title maybe until we get to top 15. But Nikola Jokic, what he is doing this season is insane. I mentioned this on the last podcast. He is basically like if you made Dirk Nowitzki the best passer in the world. Seriously. Nikola Jokic so far this season is averaging 26 points, 11 rebounds, 9.5 assists on a 69.2 true shooting percentage that is 12 points higher than league average. Per 100 possessions, Nikola Jokic is averaging 37.1 points, 16 rebounds, 14 assists. He is shooting 63% between 3 and 10 feet, 47% between 10 and 16 feet, and 68% on shots between 16 feet and the 3-point line. Obviously, Dirk Nowitzki made a killing from the mid-range. That is unassailable. That is what made him a top 20 to top 25 player of all time. In the season that Dirk won MVP, Dirk averaged 36.4 points per 100, so fewer than Jokic. He averaged 13.2 rebounds, fewer than Jokic. Obviously, drastically fewer assists. On a 60.5 true shooting percentage, that was only 6 points higher than league average at the time. Nikola Jokic is basically eclipsing the best scoring season that Dirk Nowitzki ever had so far this season, while also being the best passer in the world. This is breaking my brain. This is why we have to talk about this guy as much as we do. This is why when people don't watch the Denver Nuggets and like just go, oh, like, yeah, Nikola Jokic, he hasn't won anything yet. No, like, this is why we have to talk about this guy. He is literally, if you gave Dirk Nowitzki the superpower of being the best passer on planet Earth, while also being like the most unselfish teammate and player who makes everyone better on planet Earth. That's why this guy might win 3 straight MVPs. Think about just how crazy that is. That is crazy. Like, I can't wrap my head around Nikola Jokic when I watch him. It's the most exciting, fun, thrilling, enthralling brand of basketball. On top of it, it is just statistically like breaking my brain. He breaks basketball in so many different ways because of the way he processes the game. Jason, why do you have Nikola Jokic at number 2?
You know, you've laid it out perfectly. What I would contribute is, you know, what stands out the most to me with Jokic, just as a fan of the game of basketball, and I think it actually is directly related to how little hype he gets, it's the cliche. He makes it look easy, but it's not that he's making it look easy from the standpoint of like Kevin Durant to me makes it look easy because he's so damn tall that difficult shots are actually easier for him. With Jokic, he makes the game of basketball, like the actual decision-making process of 5-on-5 basketball for hundreds of possessions, 100 possessions a game. He makes that look easy. And it's he's got such a command of capitalizing on the easy opportunities that present themselves in a game. I'll give you an example. There's a play against Boston last night. He's at the top of the key. KCP's on the left wing. And it's kind of like semi-transition, like they're not really in their half-court set yet. They haven't gotten ready to run anything, but Jokic just notices that Tatum's kind of gapping. But he's not really doing anything. Like Tatum's kind of like having a lazy possession where he's kind of just standing halfway between Jokic and KCP. He just throws a little swing pass to KCP. KCP quick rip through, goes right by Tatum because Tatum's out of position, draws help, swing pass to Bruce Brown in the corner, knocks down a three. And I'm sitting there thinking like, that's easy basketball. Like that's Jokic going like, I don't need to post up and draw a double team. I don't need to run an inverted pick and roll or to run this other set that we run. They're not guarding KCP. Let me let him make a basketball play. The way he starts the break in transition just by pushing the ball up and looking for guys running the wings or just little lapses and guys not paying attention to a guy cutting back door. He capitalizes on every single easy opportunity that presents itself in a basketball game, and then he takes it away on the other end. Like almost every slow-footed big in the league is a problem in transition defense. We talked about this with Joel Embiid earlier. It's a huge problem. These big lumbering bigs that don't like to run the floor. You know who runs the floor extremely well? Nikola Jokic. It's almost funny the way when someone else gets a rebound, how he drops his head and just sprints like crazy up the floor
to get
into position.
He absolutely does.
And you would be surprised at how many points per game that saves you just in transition defense, let alone all the transition offense possessions where you're getting a cross match. And now you got Derek White on you or some other little guard. And now it's a panic double team that ends up leading in an open shot for someone else. Like he makes the game of basketball easy because he's like, hey, I don't need to win with difficulty and highlights. I just care about winning with whatever easy opportunities present themselves in a game. And as far as the 3 MVP things go, I don't really care. Give me the right MVP. If he deserves it this year, then he deserves it. Like, and he very well might. Like, I would have picked Giannis as my MVP last year. So I would not have picked Jokic last year.
I would have.
So if we were talking about MVP lists 10 years from now, you and I might be like, hey, remember when Giannis got robbed in that second year? But I wouldn't care that Jokic got it the third time because if he deserves it this year, he deserves it. And the on-off numbers are a little misleading because I do think that the types of spot-up opportunities that teammates get with Jokic are very different than what they get in the bench groupings. And I think that can disrupt players' rhythm. I think that's why when you look at net rating stuff, the guys that are playing primarily with Jokic, like the starters, have really good net ratings, but then the bench players struggle. I think if they overlapped that a little bit, you'd have similar problems where guys like KCP would struggle with bench groups because I think that the fundamental way that they get the basketball with Jokic is so different than the way it is in other possessions. So I think the on-off numbers are a little inflated, but there's no doubt that he's still monumentally valuable to what they do on a winning. Here's one last wild stat for you, and then I'll kick it back to you. Jokic has played 33 games this year, and they've lost his minutes 8 times. So 25 of the 33 games, they've won his minutes. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. The other thing with the on-off numbers is that they're playing DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. The worst player in the NBA.
Minutes a night. And he might be the worst player in the NBA. So that's going to skew the numbers as well. So no, 100%. That is the on-off numbers. Like I care about them. I don't really care about them. I care more about the fact of what you just said. The Nuggets just win their minutes when Jokic is out there. And we can talk about the defensive deficiencies. Like I think he has not been very good in half-court defense this year. I think he has not been quite as effective in some of their ball screen coverages. I think that like they love to run that like show and recover ball screen coverage. Like if they can, they don't do it all the time now, but like that'd be what they would prefer to do. I think he's just been a little bit worse in all of their ball screen coverages across the board this year. And because of it, not because of it, their defense is struggling in general. He is a part of their defense struggling in a pretty real way, but it doesn't matter. Because when you average 125 points per 100 possessions when the guy is out on the fucking court, that's game. Like
it's that simple.
Kind of game.
The game is a scoreboard game. The game is the scoreboard.
I still don't have him at number 1 on MVP. You still don't have him at number 1.